I have another important speaker we're bringing up now before we go to roundtables, which is a strong partner of ours in the industry. The MLS organizations, as we've said before, have really carried a lot of the water for RESO over the years. So we want to bring up our friend and strong partner, the CEO of Council of MLS, Denee Evans. Come on up.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And I do see lots of Bloody Marys. I have never done a presentation after drinking, and I still have not as of today. So I'm gonna wait till after, see if there's any left out there. But great to see all of you. Denee Evans with the Council Multiple Listing Service, CMLS. And today, I'd like to go over a little bit of updates of what we are doing to work within the industry, support all of you, get your feedback and input. CMLS is the National Trade Association for Multiple Listings, created in 1957 by people like you. I'm sure we have a few of you here that were part of that. I'm proud to report we have our highest membership ever at 222 MLSs, and there is 1.7 million subscribers. That does include, we have some Canadian members as well. I know there's also a little bit of overlap, but I think there is some project you guys are working on here at RESO, acronym ULI, did I get it right? That would help us better do that. So keep up the good work on that. And then the key was just mentioned and discussed by the previous panel. Business partners are also a member of CMLS, and it does take everyone and their perspective and what they bring to the industry to make sure we can collaborate and move us forward. I've started calling it the magic of CMLS with what we work to do at CMLS, and really fostering an environment that does sharing, learning, collaboration. And a couple of things on the screen of what we do. I'll cover some of them, but one, I want to make sure you know we have our best practices. If there's something that you're looking for a resource on, it is on the website in those areas. Customer service, governance and leadership, green, if you want to add energy efficiency fields, that is all on there. And it has been created by all of you. That is not just CMLS, myself, the staff, or the board sitting in a room. That has all been put together by all of you sharing your best practices and your resources. So thank you for that. One of the things I'm most excited about that we've done over the last couple of years over COVID was MLS Matters. Previously, we had what we called section councils, and those were good, but man, these MLS Matters are really just amazing. So how many of you in the room have attended one at some point? Love it. Just since the beginning of this year, we have had over 1,500 people come together on a Thursday for an hour or 90 minutes, and they're sharing and they're learning and they're asking questions. And I think the really amazing impact that has to move our industry forward. A little story from that the other day. We got an email from somebody who said, hey, I was on MLS Matters 2 weeks ago, and somebody talked about a program they were doing to better communicate. Can you send me their name? I want to reach out to them. They said they'd share that document. So we connected them, and no need to reinvent the wheel, or as I call it, cherry picking best practices, what works in your market, and take what the others are doing to implement those. So I appreciate all of you who are willing to share, as well as those of you who are willing to ask the questions. CMLX is our training course that's been around. We do have CMLX 1, 2, and 3. I want to do a little shout out to George at Northern Nevada MLS, because I believe, George, your entire staff has been through the training. So yay, thank you for that. I would encourage all of you, and I know I've got plenty of CMLX grads in here. We're hoping to get our CMLX 3 launched, which is the executive level. But the one thing I really want to promote is CMLX V, which is for volunteer leaders. As much as we want to work to train and educate and elevate our staff at MLSs, it's really the people that are around the boardroom helping to make those decisions. So the more we can get them engaged, educated, informed, and that's what I like to call the best of the best around the table, that will help us advance and move the industry forward. So I would encourage you. I know I have several MLSs who are asking all their directors to take the training. I know I worked with John Coyle, and I think we got all the leadership at NAR MLS committee and whatnot. Everyone there is taking the course. I just think it's a great foundation. I appreciate everyone's support in adopting that. And obviously the value of the multiple listing service. Two things I want to make sure you know. We have our campaign that was targeted to industry about what does the multiple listing service do for industry? And that is called Making the Market Work. And if you would like, Glenn Christoph is back there. He has his Making the Market Work socks on. I don't know if you want to do a runway, Glenn? No? Okay, you can ask Glenn later. He has his socks on. They're very cool. So that is targeted industry. That is just you talking to your own members about what is the value and what is it you provide for them. Next is we wanted to better articulate to the consumer what is the multiple listing service, not Major League Soccer. So we did a whole campaign targeted to the consumer, and it is white labeled. CMLS does not need credit on it. It does not have to have our name on it. You can make it yours, whether you're an MLS, you're a vendor, you're a broker. We've got Cloud CMA is, I believe, put it into every report that's being done. That in the know stuff is being part of that report. So appreciate the adoption. I would encourage you to use it. And again, white labeled so that you can just grab it and make it yours. Talked about best practices. It is Fair Housing Month, so I want to make sure and call out that we did complete this resource last year. Do I have any work group, task force individuals in the room right now? I think I had a couple people I thought I saw earlier, but I want to thank you for the work group. This was a lot of hard work to get done. This is a document that you should be using, taking around your board table, having active conversations, and what you can do to advance fair housing in your marketplace. Next, they did just talk about how a bill becomes a law. Love that one. And somebody does need to make that video about MLS policy. I think it would be helpful. But in last, CMLS did submit two policies. And actually, Jeff was the chair. Jeff and Ed Zorn were the chairs of that group. But as Caitlin mentioned, we went out for a ton of feedback. What is your perspective? What's your approach? What's your concerns? What's your, hey, we could really do this piece of it? So we submitted these two policies, and they were passed. And it was a very collaborative effort. And I really want to thank RESO for their part in giving the feedback, because there is a part of it, there'd be questions I had no idea. I knew the words, but like, hey, we've got to get that. And we hosted some joint meetings even to say, how would this work? How would this play out? So I appreciate that partnership. And yes, there is a role for all of us in moving the industry forward. So I appreciate that and look to continue that work and that collaboration. And then not only did we put forward the policies, but we also did an implementation guide. So in supporting you to say, here, we think these things help support the marketplace, decrease the efficiencies to move our industry forward. There is an implementation guide on the website, so you can use that because if we do a policy and it is not a smooth rollout, then that just sort of adds to those pain points, and that is not our goal. So we really want to support all of you in making that an effective rollout. And also, we did ask for, based on the feedback in a lot of those MLS matters and different events that were happening, you were saying you needed more time. There was a lot that came down. So CMLS did officially ask NAR to delay the implementation on some of the policies, and that was approved to September 1st. So yes, that is a big deal. And again, effective. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. So lots going on here. CMLS will stay active in this. Anybody can recommend an idea or a policy, put it forward. We'd love to hear your ideas. Where do we create better efficiencies in the marketplace? How do we make what we do to power the professionals better? So always open to that feedback and direction. And again, it has to be industry. I call it community-based policymaking. We got to do it together. So thanks, Jeff, and Ed's not here, but appreciate all the work and patience in getting that through. Next is, you heard earlier about the floor plans and what's going on there. CMLS did, I'm very excited about this, we did submit an amicus brief to the Supreme Court of the United States. Never thought I would be standing saying that as an update, but it's very cool. And it was about the voice of the MLS. How will this impact our ability to serve the professionals that are using it? How does it impact the consumer? So if you didn't see that, though, you can find it again on our website. It is officially filed. It's online. You can see it. And I know NAR did those, and Katie had reached out and said, I want to make sure you're aware of this. And the CMLS board chose to submit that as the MLS perspective and role, and how do we better support you. And we'll keep you updated on that. The other thing that we're doing, talking about the value of the multiple listing service and turn up the volume, right? It is getting more and more important with all this the spotlight on our industry as to we can clearly articulate the value of the MLS. Nicole Jensen said this the other day. It's not just the value of the MLS, but it's the significance of it and why it matters to who. We just need to get better about that. It is very significant and it does a lot for a lot of people, and we just need to turn up that volume. So we are working on creating more of that we will be discussing at more of a national level with the regulators, and that more on that will be coming out soon. So I'm very excited about that initiative as well. And before I get to Indy, I guess, talking about this with the legal information, we do have our legal seminar, which used to be part of our conference, but we actually are pulling it out because we do think that there's so much going on. So there is July 21st, if you want to put that down as a date. We will be doing our legal seminar. It will be virtual. It's for your staff, your volunteer leaders, because obviously, as we're seeing, there's going to be a lot to be updated on here coming up soon. So July 21st, and then wrapping up here, see all of you in Indianapolis. I can't believe we're finally going to get there because that was supposed to be in 2020. But Indianapolis and September 28th through the 30th, beautiful city. We will have MyBor as our host. Super excited about that. And I would just encourage and appreciate and thank all of you for your collaboration, working together. Really appreciate RESO. I appreciate the invitation. I do call it our sister organization. And we do have a great working relationship, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you because no matter what I do, if you guys aren't in there with us and helping to promote and move things forward and provide your feedback, input, ideas, then that's what makes it successful. So thank you all for all what you do. And if you have any questions afterwards, I will be hanging around, maybe go find my Bloody Mary now. So thank you.